Ricky Rackman here. Welcome to a very special edition of the Headbangers Ball. I'm extremely excited about this show. I mean, really excited about the show, and I'll tell you why in just a little bit. Not only is it a Metal Blocks edition, which means that we're going to have blocks of videos from bands like Guns N' Roses, Skid Row, Motley Crue, Slayer, and Metallica, and we're going to be playing the short film version of The Unforgiven. But I'm very excited because tonight, Ozzy Osbourne is the co-host of the entire Headbangers Ball.
Good to be here, Ricky.
Very nice to see you again. And who's this?
This is my little guy, Jack.
Hey, Jack.
Hi.
Who's your favorite singer?
Dad.
Dad?
That's
Okay.
the boy.
Good answer. So anyway, first of all, I just want to say I've seen a couple of the shows. I went to Arizona to see the show, and I had to go back and saw it again in L.A. On stage, you look great.
Well, I've been training. I decided halfway through making the No More Tears album. I suddenly thought, if I've got to go out, you know, on a long farewell tour, which, I mean, it's a farewell tour, which is, it's not going to be a short one. It's going to be as long as it lasts, you know, till I drop dead, I suppose. And I just started training, and I changed my diet, and I got a therapist, and I went through this whole change. And I started lifting weights, started jogging, and all this good stuff. And it seems to be paying off, you know. I mean, the stamina I've got is like incredible.
Yeah, because the show is like almost a 2-hour show.
Yeah. When the kids are coming up to me in the in-store, they're going, Ozzy, man, you're better than ever. You know, so what I've been doing, I've been doing shows, then midnight in-stores till 3 and 4 in the morning, and sleep has become like a non-existent. I haven't slept in 3 or 4 days now, so last night was a bit wearing on me in LA here, but the crowd spur you on, man. You know, an Aussie crowd is a crowd to be seen, because
definitely
it's like you feel like a boxer in a boxing ring, you know, like Rocky Balboa, you know. Come on, keep on going, you know.
We'll be back and we'll talk a little bit about the crowds and the in-stores and all the crazy things that have been happening. And of course, we're going to have a metal block from Ozzy, including The Ultimate Sin, Crazy Babies. But right now, here is No More Tears from Ozzy Osbourne. Back to the Headbangers Ball. That was No More Tears from Ozzy Osbourne. And again, this is a lot of fun for me, because special guest co-host tonight is Ozzy Osbourne. And of course, joining him is Jack Osbourne, right?
My son and heir.
Jack, I have a question to ask you. What's it like having Ozzy as a dad?
Good.
Is it good? Get to have fun?
Yep.
Go to see a lot of his shows?
Yep.
What's your favorite Ozzy song?
Come on, think of one.
No, it is.
You like that one? Yeah, we just played the video. Tell us a little bit about the video. I mean, it's a great-looking video.
I mean, videos are not one of my greatest pastimes, because you've got 8 million producers, directors, and people running around with microphones, and they're all standing next to each other, talking to each other through loud hailers and whatnot. And it's like that. You think they were making like the next Gone with the Wind or something, you know. It's only a 3 or 4 minute video.
And the money they're spending on them now.
I mean, you know, so the latest video, which I'm not going to tell you the title because I don't want to give it away. So it just, we went in and we did it in 1 day, and it's come out fantastic. And No More Tears was a hard slug, because we got there very early in the morning, left very late the next night for 3 days. Then on the last day, I had to fly to Japan, do some press. Then from Japan to Australia, then from Australia back to Canada, and it was like I was like, you know.
It's been a real hectic schedule.
But doing them, you can't really see what these guys are at, you know, until they piece it together. And I was very pleased with the outcome, you know.
It looked great. We're going to play another video from you guys, from you right now, in your band. And this is The Ultimate Sin, and we'll talk a little bit about that after we play it. Here's a metal block from Ozzy. Welcome back to the Headbangers Ball. I'm Ricky Rackman, and I want to remind you one more time about the Bang... I say one more time, I'm going to remind you a lot. Bang in the New Year with Slayer contest. There's going to be details on that real soon, so listen up and enter. And of course, right now, my very special guest is Ozzy Osbourne. And we just came out of a block of Ozzy videos. And in that, we played The Ultimate Sin. And I've heard other people say what the song is about, but no one better than you could tell us.
Well, The Ultimate Sin to me at that time was the atomic bomb, you know. I mean, through phases of my career, I've gone through various most of my songs are written on paranoia, you know, my fears, you know. And now that it's like East meets West, it's a lot easier, you know. I'm glad we got that Saddam Hussein in his place, you know, because people like that will just start one, you know. It's scary.
And Miracle Man was, of course, written about Jimmy Swaggart.
Yeah, well, he's a guy that preaches the holy book, and he puts people like me and the rest of us down. And then he's really just like the same as us all, you know.
And it seems like, I mean, with what happened with Clarence Thomas, nobody wanted to talk about that Jimmy Swaggart got caught again with a prostitute in India. So.
Yeah, but you know, we're all people, you know. I hope you use a condom.
But because he points the finger,
he puts more, you know, oh, my record sleeves up. This guy is Satan, you know. Well, what's the difference, you know? You know, it says somewhere in one of these books, beware of false prophets, you know.
Right.
I don't buy into it. I don't see that you have to pay to get closer to God. If God is there, and I believe, you know, there's a being stronger than myself, and I don't believe in the dark forces. I have fears of the dark forces, but, you know, you don't have to pay for that, you know.
Right.
You have to pay to see an Ozzy concert.
And much better for you, too. We'll be back with Metal Blocks from Guns N' Roses and Queensryche, and, of course, more with Ozzy Osbourne right after these words. Welcome back to the Headbangers Ball, and tonight is one of the shows that'll probably go down as being one of the classic Headbangers Ball because Ozzy is the co-host for this entire show. And right before we went to that break, we showed some footage of you playing in Moscow.
Yeah, funnily enough, when I came off stage last night, I was absolutely fried, and some of the guys from Gorky Park were there, and they said, "Remember us?" And I'm going, it's like a flashback, you know. You were there, were you?
No. I wasn't invited. Everybody else from MTV was there.
Everybody else in the world was there, you know. But that was an experience, man, that I'll never forget.
Now, I remember watching it on TV at home in Los Angeles, and there were a lot of people out there with big Ozzy banners. I mean, they were going nuts for your show.
You know, it was such a surprise to me. But mind you, what you got to take into consideration, I'm old enough to be some of these guys' fathers, you know. So I've been around a lot longer, so they've snuck some of my records through the underground system. There's a huge underground system in, well, there was, but it's more open now. I really want to go back and play some more gigs, you know.
Really?
I mean, Metallica and AC/DC just played to 1 million people.
Wow. In one show?
One show.
Well, I mean, that's wild.
I mean, it's like they're so starved of Western music, and it's like they go crazy, you know. But the weirdest thing of all was the fact that the first 10 rows of people were the army. Then after the army were the audience, you know. And it was really weird. It was like, it's just like Nazism.
They'd never done anything like that, so I'm probably scared about bringing all these crazy rock and rollers to Moscow. We're going to be back, but right now it's time for a metal block from Guns N' Roses, including Don't Cry. But first, here's the one that started it all off for GNR. Here's Welcome to the Jungle. Here?
Yeah.
What are you going to be when you grow up, Jack? You going to be in a rock and roll band?
No, a diver.
You're going to be a diver?
Yeah.
Underwater?
Then in a underwater rock and roll band.
There you go. You like rock and roll?
Yeah.
What's your favorite band? You don't have to say me.
Dad.
Okay, another one.
It's because he doesn't have to go out and buy the records.
I have to.
Now, I mean, life on the road must be completely exhausting enough as it is, but you're also have done in-stores after the shows to meet fans, which, I mean, lasts until 3 in the morning all the time.
Well, you know, one thing that a lot of us tend to forget is the fact that without these kids, we wouldn't be in this life of luxury that we're living, you know. You know, there comes a point when it gets too crazy, and it did get too crazy, but it's my farewell tour. And so I said to Sharon, you know, I want to thank them in a more personal way than I can, and by doing in-store appearances. It is very tiring and wearing on me, but I love the guys because, you know, I mean, I'm 24 years doing this, and I've gone through generations to generations. Kids come to me in the store and go, I listened to you when I was 3, and I've gone all through the years of you, and it's like, that's when it really hits home how long I've been doing it. You know?
Does it feel like that long?
No, it's gone like a flash, and if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change a thing.
Because watching your show, I've seen so many different kind of rock and roll bands play, and occasionally you'll see a band that's been together for 10 or 20 years, and it seems like they're playing the old stuff, but seeing Ozzy, you're still seeing a band that is very current as far as being rock and roll. It's not seeing an old-time band, it's seeing somebody that still seems like a new, very powerful
that's
artist.
one of the reasons I have younger players with me, you know. I mean, Zach spurs me on a lot. When it's like when you get it's like a football team. You know, you push each other. You know, you help each other out. It's great. I mean, you know, it's something. It gets tiring with all the physical training and dieting and whatever. But hey, I love it. You know, it's my life. It's my life.
We'll be back talking to Ozzy Osbourne throughout this entire show. Great, I'm having fun. And right now we're going to play a metal block from Queensryche featuring Empire. Now to start it off, here's Queensryche live from the home video. It's part of the band's special edition box set, which should be in your stores. Get it because there's only making a limited edition of it. It's called Operation Live Crime. And right now we're going to check out the debut of I Don't Believe in Love from Queensryche. Special edition of the Headbangers Ball tonight. Not only is it a metal blocks edition, but Ozzy Osbourne is the co-host, and of course, still joined with Jack.
Yeah.
So are you also like the family man?
You know, there's two sides of Ozzy. The one you see and the one you don't. If you want to see a bit of that, you know, you should get the video Don't Blame Me.
Which is great.
Which, when they approached me about doing that, I said, I'll do it as long as it's the truth, you know. And so there's parts of that video I can't watch when I was drinking and using. And then there's parts where I'm I started getting myself together, you know. When I was back in England, you know, I was training by then, and I dropped a lot of